I'm Jeff Philbin, and if you're having difficulty deciding what to do for your dinner, let us be your inspiration. Today, a top seafood chef shares a recipe for perfectly seasoned red snapper as we make a colorful Florida fish dish with a spicy aioli on the side. We're keeping it simple in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen, not just with an easy recipe, but with a chef's name I can't forget. It's another chef, though this one's with a G and not the J. I'm not going to hold that against you, all right?
Good.
But we're going to have some fun with it, and welcome to the Dinner DeeAs kitchen, Chef Jeff.
Well, thank you very much for having me here.
Now, this Chef Jeff has cooked for kings, sheiks, actors, sports stars, and a career that's taken him to over 50 countries, including 12 years in the military, cooking for generals, no less. And now the executive chef at Current's Restaurant, offering fine dining in downtown Tarpon Springs. So the recipe that you're actually sharing today, blackened red snapper with a smoked gouda grit, is a tribute to your roots.
Well, blackened is on almost every recipe or at every menu in Florida. And it traditionally started with the blackened redfish. And Louisiana worked its way down here. And I've always loved blackened. This recipe, matter of fact, is one that I created when I was 19 years old.
All right, so we're going right down memory lane here.
Yes.
How do we get started then with it?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop a little bit of the cilantro here.
Okay.
So we'll get this cut up, and if you would like, if you want to go ahead and add some of the ingredients into the bowl.
I'd absolutely love to. So I got some red onions, it looks like.
Yes.
Okay.
And do about half of those.
Okay.
And then if you would, go ahead and follow it up with the tomato.
I can do that part as well. And we're going all in?
All in.
Okay. Very good. All right. Got some peppers here, it looks like.
Tricolored.
And we're going to just go a little bit of some green onions, it looks like.
Yes.
All right. And then follow it up with just a little bit of some salt here. Okay.
There we go.
Now, you got any tricks for cutting mangoes?
Well, the seed, as you see once we finish here, is very thin. So if you cut around it, you see there's the seed. So you put that aside, but then you take a spoon, and actually you can use a glass or something like that also. But see how easy it comes out?
So you're just kind of getting this just
right
underneath
under
it,
the
just
skin.
to scoop it right out.
Right under the skin.
And how do you find the perfect mango? Like, what are you looking for?
Well, color for one. But before I took this apart, I should have showed you that there was a little stem on it. And if you pull the stem away, and it comes away really easy, kind of like a pineapple.
Okay.
You know, you pull the center,
Yeah.
you know, one of the stems out of it, and it comes out really easy.
Yeah.
If you do the same, it's ripe. Okay. You know, sadly, we go through so much produce in the world that they pick them green. And we go to the market, and when we go to the market, a lot of times you're getting an unripe product. So you have to let it set.
Yeah.
But, you know, we go to the market and we look and we find them with the tricks of the trade of pulling a stem or just, you know, tweaking a little bit, the smell, looking at how much natural juices are coming out of it.
Totally. Does the firmness of it actually help you as well for what you should be touching when going to say, that's the one I'm reaching for?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really rock hard, guess what? It's not right.
It's not ready.
It's not ready, and chances are it's going to be very bitter.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
Yeah, you want something that's going to be sweet and those juices really start to open up and soften it.
Right. So we're going to put the cilantro
Cool.
in there.
Beautiful fresh flavors.
Oh yeah,
You know?
and you know, a lot of the places that I've been, the cilantro, you know, when they use it and they cook with it, it is so aromatic and so refreshing.
Nice.
That basil and using fresh products is really always just so awesome.
And it makes a difference.
And it makes a huge difference. I don't know why anybody would want to grab, unless you're making something like this. You know, you're not going to put the fresh herbs in this.
Yeah.
The blackened seasoning, you're going to use dried. So, again, we're just going to dice this up a little bit, put it in.
To grab the other Chef Jeff's recipe to make this for your dinner, just go to dinnerdeeas.com. It's all there with the amounts, the ingredients to follow along and print out. Fastest way to get to us is opening the camera app on your phone and pointing at the QR code we have down at the bottom of the screen. It takes us with a direct link to us. All right. So mangoes look like they're good.
Yes, and while you're waiting, if you wouldn't mind, would you go ahead?
Get some juice going here?
I cut it the wrong way.
I'm ready to go. Now, what is that there? I mean, I got the limes here. Walk me through, y'all.
I've got
this bad boy here.
The jalapeno, and I am not putting the seeds in.
I absolutely loved how you just did that because you just rolled it just a little bit to be able to make sure that all those seeds came intact while you were de-seeding the whole process. Because now, what do we have? We just have a beautiful pepper to work with.
Now we have the flesh, but what happens is a lot of people, when they cut them in half, they get the seeds out, then they're cutting them on the board.
And then
that's just not desirable. You know, if you're trying to get the seeds out, that's why you cut it this way.
Very good.
Okay.
I love jalapenos.
Yeah, they're awesome. I like datil peppers better, though.
Oh, I can't wait. I think we're going to be having some fun with some datil peppers in a little bit, too.
We will, yes. So we want to mix this.
Okay.
Get it all mixed together, and then we're going to put it in the fridge. Let it set.
Now, how long can that sit in the fridge for?
It depends on how ripe the mangoes are.
Okay.
But traditionally, you can go probably 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and have it still
So if
stay
someone at home
nice.
wants to do this in batch, they could absolutely do that. Bring out some chips, have a nice little bit of a nice salsa that they can always kind of come back to and just have big summer flavors.
I actually like it after it's set a day or two.
Okay.
Because they've really seeped together. And it really makes a difference. But look at the color on that.
It's
to go
fun.
on top of that fish.
You eat with your eyes. This is just going to bring colors and everything. It's vibrant. It's absolutely vibrant. It's going to be absolutely fun because this is going to be topped over this beautiful fish.
Yes.
How do we get to that seasoning first, though?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to do the blackened seasoning. Like I said, this is a recipe that I started with when I was 19 years old. This is a mixture of thyme and oregano.
Okay.
Which really gives, when you blacken it, the thyme and oregano come out.
Okay. And what should you be tasting for the thyme and oregano? What makes it so unique to have those flavor profiles in your black seasoning? Because you could buy, blackened seasoning off the shelf, but it's fun to pick someone's brain about, I intentionally put this ingredient in. What was it about the thyme for you?
The thyme is really a traditional spice in the Menorcan chowder, which in St. Augustine, I worked in St. Augustine, that's where I went to school. So I went to culinary school there. And the Menorcans use it a lot.
Yeah.
They stew a lot of stuff. It brings it out. And the thyme, to me, just really works perfect with seafood.
I love it. It's just that lemon burst right there. So what else have we
So
added
we've got
in?
a little bit of garlic, and then a little bit of onion. And then we've got cayenne pepper,
Nice.
black pepper,
Ooh.
and then some white pepper.
So the balance of both black pepper and white pepper.
Yes, and people really don't understand that the white pepper really has a distinct flavor. But when you're doing light dishes, you really don't want the black specks in it, so you put the white pepper in it.
And what would be the flavor profile for a white pepper instead of, like, say, a black pepper? What are you getting out of that? What's bringing the dimensions behind it?
A little bit lighter, okay? And traditionally, the white pepper is ground fine, okay? So you're not going to get the heavy bite. And then you really don't have that black pepper, that punch to it. It's a little bit lighter. I really like white pepper, but a lot of people don't use it.
Oh, that's going to be so well married together with this beautiful fish. I can't wait to get into it. What do we need to do next with this fish here?
Okay, so with the fish, what we want to do is we're going to season. This is rice flour, okay? So with the rice flour, you go to Asian restaurants, right?
Yeah.
And you always wonder, why is it so crisp?
Yeah.
It's because, this is almost the consistency of cornstarch.
So it's just super light, but it just absorbs everything just to give a nice crunch.
And it really does. And then also another thing too is gluten-free. Currents has won a lot of awards because of the gluten-free.
Yeah.
Paying attention to dietary needs.
Sure.
And people don't realize that if you use the rice flour, you meet that.
So because of that dynamic, easy to find in the grocery store then? Because it's been widely accepted for gluten-free tolerance.
It used to be really hard. You go to the international aisle and you hope they have it.
Yeah.
But now it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's really just a staple for the gluten-free diet.
I love it. Okay, so this is the base that we're working with. What else do we have to add into it?
So what I'm going to do is just lightly season it because we don't want to overpower the blackened seasoning that I have because you've got a lot in that anyways. So, and what we're wanting to do is mix that well, and then we're going to dredge the snapper in it, which dredging is just lightly pulling it through. We don't want a heavy, heavy coat, but we want something that the blackened seasoning will actually adhere to.
Okay.
So we're actually going to dredge it,
Okay.
let it set. As it sweats, then we'll come back in a little bit and we'll blacken the fish.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start dredging this one because while our fish absorbs this seasoned flour, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, how to use the blackened seasoning we made to cook our fish without burning it or smoking up the house. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Dinner DeeAs. We're cooking today with Chef Jeff. No, not me. This guy. And by the way, great name, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Your parents
You
had
too.
very good taste.
You too.
This Chef Jeff is Chef Jeffrey Blanchett, executive chef with Currents in the port town of Tarpon Springs, and he's appropriately bringing Florida fish from the menu today with us as he's sharing his recipe for blackened red snapper with smoked gouda grits and a mango salsa, which we made before the break. All we did was we combined red onions, grape tomatoes, bell peppers, green onions, and just a little bit of salt, a little cilantro, diced mango, that beautiful jalapeno, with the finishing touches of a little lime juice. Then we prepared our blackening season because blackened fish isn't burnt, it's seasoned. Chef Jeff's preferred blend is thyme, oregano, cayenne pepper, and sugar, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, black pepper, white pepper. Finally, we prepped our fish, seasoning flour with salt and pepper, and letting our red snapper absorb during that break. And it's still going to continue to absorb all of those beautiful, beautiful flavors.
Now we're going to add the grits. And
Okay.
just, let's get them cooked.
What's the trick to a really, really good grit?
Well, the ratio of water, these are stone ground grits, so we want 4 to 1.
I love it because to grab Chef Jeff's recipes for these grits and the blackened snapper we're about to cook, visit dinnerdeas.com to print it out and follow along, or even watch this episode over again. Scan the QR code to find us now on your phone. So what do we have to do next to really let this snapper dance in that pan?
Okay, so what we've done is we used the rice flour prior, and we dredged it in rice flour. If you want to just put some of the seasoning on top, and I'm very generous with blackened seasoning.
Let's go. You want to go right in?
Very generous. So yeah, that's perfect. I give it a little bit of a pat, and then we flip it over and do the same to the backside. So many people are so afraid to get too much blackening on it. The seasoning that I've made is it has a lot of pepper, but it's not really that powerful. So it's still going to be nice when we cook it up. So you can use quite a bit. I love it with shrimp. We do all kinds of stuff with it.
Okay. I just want to get those last little bits all the way around because I absolutely love when you get all those little flavors everywhere.
It's like making a sandwich and only having everything in the middle.
Yeah.
You don't cover the whole bread. You might as well cover the whole thing and make it right the first time, right?
Absolutely. So what do we need to cook this in then?
Okay, so we're gonna put some butter in the pan.
Okay.
And we're gonna start with the skin side up.
Skin side up?
Yes, because when you plate for your presentation, you want to make sure that for the presentation that the flesh side is really cooked nice. And that's how we're going to get that.
All right, very good. And now this is not going to be burnt, but we want to make sure that this cooks pretty well here.
Yes, yes. So I like it, traditionally we use a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
And we get the skillet hot, and when you think it's hot enough, you get it hotter.
So you just kind of go to that extreme
And
right there.
a lot of times people use oil. I like butter.
You like the butter. Now,
Butter is better, right?
butter is better. Is this going to be hot enough for you? You like this?
Yes, it's
And this is what
going
you're
well.
looking for
It's
right
going
now?
well. Yes, it is.
Fantastic, because how long do we need to keep this per side?
We're going to do about 2.5 minutes per side.
2.5 minutes
Yep.
per side. And when we come back, how we get these grits from good to great with our friend smoked gouda, and how a humble St. Augustine grown pepper is the secret to a spicy aioli that goes great with this dish. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. It's a double helping of Chef Jeffs today, as this Chef Jeff is cooking with this chef, Jeff. He's from Current's restaurant in Tarpon Springs and has been sharing his recipe for blackened red snapper with smoked gouda grits. Before the break, we started our grits, it's nice and simple, with just a little salt and some boiling water. Then added our blackening season to our red snapper and cooking it skin side down, a little bit of butter, and a screeching hot skillet here. You think we're ready to be able to do the flip?
I think we're ready to flip.
What should we be looking for?
Okay, when we flip, we want to see that there's a little bit. There we go. That's an awesome color on them.
Oh, and that's,
they're going to be a little bit crisp.
And that's the blackened part that we want. That's just all everything just locking in. And you have a little bit of sugar that makes that nice little crust to it as well.
Right. What happens is that caramelizes. And when it caramelizes, it creates another crust on it.
What do we need to do with these grits?
Well, we're going to add some butter. And then, I know this looks like a lot of cheese, but this smoked Gouda is awesome. And for grits, it's really good. So you see the butter now melting in here, and we're going to incorporate the cheese to it.
Oh, I love it. Okay. To grab the recipes for the full meal Chef Jeff's been sharing today, including his mango salsa and the aioli that we're about to make, visit dinnerdeeas.com or just scan the QR code. So, what do we need to do over here?
Well, we're just going to make a quick aioli. This is a datil pepper sauce.
For those at home that don't know about datil peppers, it's so native to Florida, East Coast, ranging all the way from Jacksonville to West Palm Beach, Florida. It just goes along that coastline.
Yep.
But predominantly from when the conquistadors came in.
But if you really do the research, they came in New Smyrna Beach. And, you know, it's just, for me, this whole dish is my roots.
So what do we need to do here to make this awesome aioli then?
We're going to take a little bit of Old Bay. So we're going to put a little bit of this, and then we want to add some of this datil pepper.
Okay, now you're having a passed down generational recipe for datil sauce, but can you find it at a grocery store? Is it something that we can, our local Floridians can also enjoy over here on the west coast of Florida?
Yes, there's a lot of hot sauce companies. Publix has a lot of it. Winn-Dixie has a lot of it. So you can go and you can look for the hot sauces, and when you find the hot sauces, you know, you look for datil pepper in the hot sauce, and I'm sure 100% of the time in Florida you're going to find them because it really is. And the pepper itself, you know, you have peppers that are really hot, and that's all you get. With this, I mean, you can attest to it. The flavor is unbelievable, and there's actual flavor to the heat. So you're not really, you know, you're not really just getting your mouth burned.
Now, we got the Old Bay seasoning, we got the datil pepper. What's going on over on the other side? That looks like the blackened seasoning.
That's the blackened seasoning.
So we're going to go even more with flavor here.
A little bit of touch of this. It really, I mean, I love it. I put on popcorn, Parmesan, butter, and popcorn with this, and you put it over top, and it's awesome.
It's just everything.
And, I mean, I use it on a lot of things.
Oh, don't forget, we want to see how it turned out for you too. Email us a photo to dinnerdeeas@fox.com. Carol and Chad wrote us. Hi, you two. They made the rosemary pork tenderloin with roasted sweet potatoes and the garlicky spinach shared by Chef Fernando Sanchez from Noble Cross. They said, it was awesome. Thanks for the recipe. Well, thank you two. Doesn't that look good? I mean, like that right there.
That looks awesome.
Right?
Yeah,
that's a
an
dinner
awesome
right
looking
there.
meal.
When we come back, we need to take a seat at our table to taste what we've made ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. We're making a Florida fish dish today with Chef Jeffrey Blanchett. He's the executive chef with fine dining restaurant Currents in Tarpon Springs, and he's been sharing his recipe for a blackened red snapper with smoked Gouda grits and a mango salsa with just that nice Cajun aioli. When we last saw this fish before the break, it was still in the pan. So how do we get it from the pan to where we're at right now?
Well, we started with the grits and then put the fish on top. And then we did the aioli, and then we put the mango salsa, and then we have...
So we got the lemon there, and that one noticeable, but what do we got here?
Well, that's something that people don't realize how easy this is. It's just a Parmesan crisp. And you could take just the normal Kraft Parmesan you have in your refrigerator and put it on, we use Silpats, which is the rubber mat, a silicone mat, but you can put it on parchment paper or whatever you'd like, put it in a pan, just sprinkle some on and put it in the oven, brown it up a little bit, and you've got a cracker. and it's an awesome garnish for plates. So at home, if you want to impress your friends, it's easy to make. Make it, put it on the plate, and they'll be totally impressed.
And it's malleable, so you can make cool shapes with it.
Oh, yeah.
You can use it as a vessel to really transfer some great dishes inside this too.
And get a lot of height to your plate.
I love it. All right, speaking of the plate, this is the best part of the show, my friend.
Yes,
this is
it
when we
is.
get right into it. So, you ready to dig in?
Ready to dig in.
Let's do it. Now, this fish looks absolutely fantastic. Walk us through these flavors. What should we be tasting for?
So I went into the grits with a little bit of fish, so
Okay.
I got a lot of the cheese in the grits, which I love. And then a little bit of the blackened with the aioli. I really like to get the fish alone by itself because it has so much.
So, those flavors are all rock and rolling, but let's not forget about the salsa.
That hot-cold combination is absolutely awesome for a summer meal.
Oh, without a doubt.
Mixing this with the fish is just, it makes it awesome. It really flows.
Thank you again to Chef Jeff with a G.
Yes.
Let's do this right. A link to Current's restaurant is at dinnerdeas.com, which is also where you can go for the recipes for this favorite Florida dinner of his. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with more Dinner Dias.